This is a quick demo of the AcquiSIGN iPad application. I've already selected Minnesota, Iceni County. I'm going to select Bradford. The filter panel comes up and shows you all the different types of signs that we can see. These are signs that have already been collected from Bradford. You'll notice category says regulatory warning guide, so it's going to show all those signs as well as other which I just selected. The status, ABC, refers to retroreflectivity. How reflective is it? A being best, C being worst. At the lower part of this filter panel, it says from and to, and it means sign number from up to sign number 1000. There are not 1,000 signs in Bradford. There's a little over 300. I'm going to show signs at the bottom of this filter panel, and it's loading the signs from our server. When those are loaded, you see both the list on the left and you see the pins representing the signs on a map on the right. In the lower right hand portion of this screen is a icon, looks like a left and a right arrow on a post in the lower right corner. I will select that. It zooms in so you can see all the signs in your viewing area that are listed on the left-hand side. To select a sign, you can select it from the list on the left. So if I select, for example, sign number 5, I zoom into that sign on my map as well. It gives me a little pop-up box, tells me it's a stop sign. Its inspection status or retro is C. If I want to see more or do more, I press that little pop-up box, and up comes a little thumbnail as well as the retro, which can be set in this pop-up box, and you can press done and do not have to go into the view and edit all attributes of the sign. I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to say cancel. I'm going to zoom back out by pressing the little icon. The other way that you can select a sign is by pressing a pin, selecting one of the pins from this list. The green ones refer to signs that are alone on one post or support structure. The purple refer to signs that are stacked, meaning there are more than one sign on that support structure. So for example, if I press this purple pin in the middle of the screen, it says support ID 14. Well, you'll notice the list on the left scrolls to that sign, which is sign 135, and if I press the pop-up box that you see on the map, which I just did, it also gives me the same sign as well as the other ones that have that same support ID, which in this case turns out to be a turn left and a speed advisory sign. Now if I select one of the signs, which I just did, we again get the same picture we do with a single sign that's on a support. We get the thumbnail and we get the retro, which we can set. I am going to go into the view edit just to show you what's new there. In this particular one, sign number at the very top is an editable field. That's new. So you can change the sign number. It will check if you change it to make sure that it's not a duplicate. Below that is support ID. That is new, so you can set the support ID within this window. And if you do set the support ID, it will say that it is stacked. It will also set the checkbox to stacked that you see checked just below barcode. To the right of stacked is district ID. That happens to be a new field for those of you that have been using it. In the check boxes, all the things that can be checked have been changed slightly, but there is a new one called breakaway support, and that's for identifying those signs in which the support does have a breakaway support for accidents. I'm going to press that just to show you where it is. The other new thing that is in this version is you can delete a sign, and you'll see that in the lower right. When you delete a sign, it doesn't physically delete it, it just sets it to inactive. I'm going to cancel, go back to my sign filter panel, and you'll notice it has sign type. It's set to all. I'm going to select that, and let's say we want to see just stop signs. I'll select from our list of all the signs that are in this particular township. I want to select all stop signs, and so I'll say show signs, and you'll see now in fact all the signs on the map and in our list are in fact all the stop signs. I'll back up. Below that you can select a particular district, which we don't have for this particular township. You can select a particular road or a support ID. I'm going to select, first of all, get rid of the stop sign and set it back to all. Go back to road, and I'm going to set it to Flamingo, and I know there is a road called Flamingo. If I start typing like FL, you'll notice that it gives me Flamingo already. It does the autocomplete. Turns out there's two of them. One of them was ST and the other has an ST and a period. That's one of the things you need to address in the field and make sure there's consistency. Now it turns out most of them are the one without the period, so I will select that. I will say show signs at the bottom, and now you'll see I only get signs that are on Flamingo, which I'm going to zoom in so that you can see in fact that is Flamingo. Okay, so I now go to my filter panel to show you the last feature. In this particular feature, I'm going to take out the road name, and in the lower portion it says within current map. What this is for is when you zoom in and you only want to see signs within a very small area, you can tell it to only show those signs within the current map. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in to a small area, let's say right here. I'm going to toggle that switch by moving it to the right, and I'm going to say show signs. And what you'll see here is it only has signs that are within this viewing area, which in this case looks like approximately 10 or 11 signs. If I zoom out, you'll see in fact these are the only signs that are displayed. So now a user has the ability to limit the signs and the amount of data that is selected from the database by setting this toggle switch. In future videos we'll show you how to add a sign, and in particular show you how to add more than one sign to a single support.